Hey, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? We're back with Minutes with Mike. Believe it or not, I've made some improvements. I've got some bigger guests on. Not dissing any of my previous guests, I love them. But we got a real big baller. We got a player here. We got a real one. Today I'm going to be interviewing SaneOffCoffee, a 1,000 subscriber Pngtuber. I highly recommend you guys go check her out. It's going to be pretty cool. Got my list here, got my questions. We're going to get right into this. Let me hop in a call real quick. We'll see what's up. We'll see what's up. All right, let's start the voice call. Hello?
Hello.
All right, thank you so much. Let me just say how nice it is to have you on the show. Thank you for coming on.
You're welcome.
All right, so can you give me and my audience a brief description of you and the content you make?
I play rhythm games. I stream on Twitch and YouTube like daily. Yeah, that's about all I do.
All right, so obviously we're all small creators here. What do you think is the biggest issue small scale creators like yourself you guys have to face?
Um, I kind of think it's harassment. It's really easy because you don't have a platform to defend yourself on, so it's very easy to just get overwhelmed.
Well, why do you think people harass small scale YouTubers? Do you think it's jealousy or what do you think it is?
It's honestly, it kind of just seems like easy target. Um, yeah,
Well, what would make you or some other small scale YouTuber an easy target? I mean, I wouldn't really want to pick a fight with someone minding his own business with 1,000 subs. That just seems like stupid to me. But why? But how would it be easy prey, easy pickings, whatever?
um, uh, well, for me in specific, I'm schizophrenic, so I'm pretty uh susceptible, and people know that. So it's funny to pick on the schizophrenic person. He's likely to react.
Really, really. How has being schizophrenic really impacted you on YouTube, or just your career as a general here?
Uh, it oddly hasn't affected me a whole lot. I Yeah, not really a whole lot. The one I made a video like watching schizophrenia simulations, and I was able to like provide context for that, and that the video did pretty well. I'm happy with how it turned out.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. What type of music do you listen to?
I listen to fucking everything really.
Really? Nice.
I listen to electronic a lot, but I have also listened to stuff like rock, Japanese.
Nice, nice. So, I believe a lot of people know you for your beef with Vince. Can you give me and my audience a little bit of a summary about that?
So, the whole Vince stuff started because I was annoyed he kept showing up on my recommended. I kept saying don't show this guy, and I don't know why, but YouTube kept showing him, and I just found his content really destructive and not doing anything good for anybody. So I was like, okay, well, I'll just make a video on it and see how this turns out. I didn't expect anything to happen.
And then he responded, and then and I imagine you faced a lot of backlash for that. Well, not really backlash, just people targeting you in general as a result of that.
Yeah, I got hate comments, which I don't really care about. I find them funny, honestly. What I didn't like was when I got doxxed and DDoSed.
Jesus Christ. I'm not at risk here, right?
You shouldn't be.
I'm a third party. I'm not involved with this. um, how, I think we already answered this, but do you regret making that video on Vince Kai, even getting involved with him?
Not really. I kind of stand by what I say to a fault. Um, I don't. Uh, yeah, I'm not gonna let someone leaving hate comments really change my opinions. I still don't like Vinska, and I'd say it again.
Nice, nice. Do you think YouTube is lazy as a company?
Yes and no. They do a lot of things. Like they I have to give them credit for like what they started and everything. But currently they're trying to appeal to mainstream media, which is just never going to work.
Well, how are they trying to appeal?
Banning small scale creators and banning small scale creators for doing things like speaking out against hate and things like that. The Quantum TV and Actman situation is a really good example.
Yeah, I heard about that. That was nuts. I was there. I was watching it live. It was nuts. Like I
Yeah.
honestly did not expect the outcome. I thought YouTube was gonna stand up for him, but
Yeah, YouTube will not stand up for small or not. I don't know if Actman is a really small creator.
nah.
I
Sorry to cut you off here, but it was weird because they were both like under 100K subs. I thought YouTube wouldn't really stick their nose into that, but then they hit him with the cease and desist or whatever. They went completely 180 with it.
Yeah, it was weird.
100%. What do you think YouTube could do better, or like how can YouTube improve as a company here?
Definitely listening to the community more. Along with that, appealing to mainstream media is not gonna work. YouTube has always been like a fringe company that's been hated by mainstream media. So I don't know why they're trying to shift in the way they are now.
You
And just
keep
listening to the community would
you keep throwing around mainstream media. What is mainstream media to you?
things like big news stations, talk show hosts, things like that.
Do you go to White Castle?
Like the burgers.
Yeah, like the restaurant White Castle.
I haven't been to the restaurant. I don't know if they have them in.
All right, that's a shame. That's a shame. Now, if you look at your channel, a lot of your content consists of streaming or videos. What do you prefer, streaming or making videos?
I it's kind of both. The thing is that videos uh I have to be motivated to have I have to have an idea in mind for a video versus a stream I can bounce off my chat really easily. So streaming is easy when I don't have an idea, but I like doing videos uh or the creative aspect of them when I actually have a plan.
Nice, nice. If you could have a channel from 0 subscribers, if you could remake another channel, is there anything that you would do differently instead of what you're doing now?
Um, Not really. I guess what I would focus on more is possibly doing like content with friends and stuff. Something that I've been knowledgeable about is that I'm pretty lacking in personality, and but I'm decent at bouncing off other people. And I always feel like doing content with friends makes it better. Uh, so if I was to like start a channel again, I'd want to focus on that a bit more.
Now, you've stated multiple times you identify as transgender. Am I right about
Yeah,
that? How
yeah.
has that, if it's okay with you, how has that affected you and your YouTube channel?
Um, in terms of affecting me, it actually has. Well, it helped one just because I had dysphoria, um, which was affecting my life pretty heavily.
Sorry, what's
So
dysphoria?
it's essentially anxiety that is very centered on like your appearance, things like. So coming out as trans and then putting effort into appearing more feminine did help me a lot. Uh, Also, I do get a lot of backlash for being trans. To me though, I just find it funny.
Do you think do you think YouTube should do something about that, like hateful comments and stuff?
Comments, no, but creators inciting hate, I do think they should be.
Yeah, cause Vince Ca got didn't his first account got banned? I remember seeing something about that. I'm not 100% sure on it though.
I don't know about like Vince because like, are you talking about his main channel? Or
No, I thought he had a first channel.
Okay, I
That
wasn't sure about that. I don't know on that. I do know that Vinska boosted his channel in the algorithm originally
yeah, he
by
engineered
up
it. Sorry to cut you off
or
again. He skyrocketed. He really engineered it.
yeah, he at first that I'm not this is allegedly, I don't have 100% proof on this. I've just been hearing it pretty frequently. Vinska apparently had like short spammed at the start when YouTube uh like when YouTube enabled the short feature, they really pushed it in the algorithm to if you just uploaded the same thing over and over again as a short, YouTube would boost you in the algorithm. And I heard that Vinska had done that, but I'm not 100% sure.
That's nasty stuff. Honestly, he really played it. Honestly, he did a good job with it. He really did engineer the algorithm there.
Yeah, it's smart. He did it before anyone else really did, and he broke the algorithm so hard that the YouTube algorithm wouldn't listen when I was like, "Stop recommending me this guy."
What's your favorite video game?
Lisa the Painful.
It's that I've never heard of it. What's it about?
It's a side-scrolling RPG, made in an RPG Maker, where essentially all the women just die, and
Jesus
so
Christ.
it's just a bunch of guys, and
It's
the
Lisa the
the
Painful.
Lisa the Painful, yeah.
Huh.
The story's really messed up, and I don't know how much I can actually describe on YouTube,
Yeah,
but it's
I'm
so
sure you'll be
good.
fine. I'm sure you'll be fine if you want to go into depth about it. Like they have channels talking about like the details in the dark manga series Berserk. So
Oh, I've heard of Bizarre.
I honestly I read Berserk. I'm so glad that they're continuing it. But what really stood out to me is I made a video saying, I love Berserk. Blah 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 blah. It was 30 seconds. Thing exploded, and then all of a sudden now they're continuing Berserk. Like I like to imagine I had a little bit of influence on the decision, but probably not. It was a silly thing.
I
But
haven't read Berserk, but I want to look into it because it seems really interesting.
it really is, especially now that the series is continuing. This is the perfect time to start reading Berserk.
Yeah.
But yeah. What do you think makes a good video game? What separates the good from the bad?
For me, it like a good story for me is a big deal, but for me, a good story in a game is nothing if the gameplay is bad. I need it needs to be a balance of having a, either just such good gameplay that I can only focus on that, or both. Like how Lisa did.
Really? All right. I'll check that out after the video ends. But do you have any favorite TV shows or movies?
Um, I liked in terms of movies, I liked the first Quiet Place movie.
Oh yeah, The Quiet Place. That's with the guy who played Jim on The Office. I forgot his name.
Uh, I,
John Krins.
John Krasinski, yeah.
That's what I was saying. Thank you. Are they making a third one? I know that the second one ended on a cliffhanger, but are they making a third one?
I am not sure. John Krasinski said that he wanted to like turn it into like a full scale series, but I don't know if the second one did well enough for it to actually happen.
But wait, was the second one a flop?
I actually don't know. I know it didn't do as good as the first one.
Oh,
But I don't think it flopped per se, but it just got mixed reviews.
yeah, Quiet Place 2. So I was just looking at the first one. It made $300 million at the box office. Its budget was 61 million at most. So I don't know. I'd count that as a success. I'd greenlight a
Yeah,
third part.
yeah. I mean, it was pretty heavily anticipated. People who saw the first movie, uh, probably saw the.
All right. So to end this off, do you have any advice for new YouTubers coming into the game, coming into the waters?
Uh, do what you enjoy. Don't try to appeal to the algorithm. It's not really gonna help.
All right. I think that's gonna round it up. Thank you so much for coming on here. It's been great talking to you.
You're welcome.
All right. See ya.
See ya.
Man, what a nice fellow. Thank you all so much for watching the podcast. If you like what you see, hit the subscribe button. And better yet, hit the subscribe button to SaneOffCoffee. Channel link in the description. Have a nice... Oh, God, today's Monday. Jesus Christ. Have a nice day regardless. Bye.